Have you ever felt a restless buzzing beneath your calm exterior, as if your own thoughts were conspiring against your tranquility? Have you ever wondered why, despite every comfort and convenience, true peace still eludes you? Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we embark on a journey into the heart of serenity, exploring how to cultivate unwavering inner peace that endures through life's turbulence. We will uncover the foundational practices for stabilizing body and mind, the subtle art of observing and releasing habitual patterns, and the transformative power of compassion and wisdom in anchoring our true nature. At first glance, peace may seem simply the absence of disturbance. We focus on healthy routines, balanced diets, and peaceful environments, believing that the right conditions will naturally yield calm. Yet as many practitioners discover, external harmony can only carry us so far. Under stress, old anxieties resurface amidst beauty, inner restlessness lurks. What then lies beyond these shifting circumstances? The deeper dimension of peace rises when we learn to rest in awareness itself. The sixth patriarch's teaching, seeking the mind is unattainable, reminds us that genuine tranquility is not a goal to grasp, but the ever-present clarity beyond thought. By turning attention inward through mindfulness of body, feelings, mind, and phenomena, we unearth a stillness untouched by joy or sorrow. In today's video, we will trace the layers of peace, from bodily ease to spiritual liberation, practice meditations that reveal the impermanent nature of emotion and self, embrace self-acceptance and compassion as catalysts for lasting calm. Imagine sitting beside a clear lake at dawn. The mirrored surface reflects every ripple, every golden ray. But the lake itself remains boundless beneath, unmoved by wind or pebble. So too can our awareness hold each passing thought and feeling, yet remain effortlessly stable. To cultivate this quality, we begin with the foundation, tending to our physical vessel. Adequate rest, balanced nutrition, and gentle movement ground us, preventing fatigue and agitation from seeding further turmoil. Next, we refine our emotional resilience by learning to observe feelings without judgment, neither suppressing nor clinging, but meeting them with curious openness. Over time, this practice dissolves the illusion that emotions define our identity, liberating us from reactive patterns. But peaceful observation alone can feel sterile if compassion is absent. True inner peace blossoms when we extend kindness to ourselves and all beings, recognizing suffering as the common thread that binds us. By cultivating loving kindness in meditation and daily life, we transform isolation into connection, resistance into empathy. In the story of practitioner Maya, we see these principles in action. Arriving at a silent retreat in turmoil, haunted by work pressures and self-doubt, she learned first to stabilize her breath, finding refuge in simple inhalation and exhalation. As old anxieties surfaced, she welcomed them as guests, dissolving barriers between me and my fear. Finally, through heartfelt practices of compassion toward others' pain, her own heart softened, allowing a serenity that no circumstance could shake. We'll continue by unfolding Maya's journey in vivid detail over 10,000 words, mapping each fluctuation of the mind and each step of her awakening. Ultimately, inner peace is less a destination than an ever-present foundation awaiting rediscovery. When we cease chasing perfect conditions and instead rest in uncontrived awareness, each moment becomes an invitation to homecoming. Maya's first weeks on retreat were marked by a kind of gentle unraveling. Each morning before dawn she sat on her cushion, the wooden floor cool beneath her legs, listening as the forest beyond the window stirred to life. At first her mind darted like a hummingbird planning the day's schedule, rehearsing conversations she feared having, replaying mistakes from the past. She noticed these patterns without judgment. This was simply her habitual way of meeting the world. Gradually, as she returned her attention again and again to the breath, something shifted. The breath, so ordinary and pervasive, became a faithful friend whose steadiness undercut every storm of thought. One afternoon, overcome by restlessness, Maya rose and walked along the mossy path that wound behind the meditation hall. With each step she practiced moving meditation, placing heel to ground, shifting weight, lifting and setting down mindfully. As she walked, she felt the tension in her shoulders dissolve, as if the earth itself were holding her burdens. By the time she returned to her cushion, her body was lighter, her thoughts quieter. In that moment she understood that serenity arises not by forcing the mind to be still, but by bringing embodied awareness into every gesture. Yet even as peace grew, Maya encountered fresh challenges. Old patterns of self-criticism would surface in the night. You're not meditating correctly. Others are more advanced than you. Why bother if you still feel anxiety? In the past, these voices would have triggered shame and avoidance. This time, she trained herself to turn inward with compassion. She visualized each harsh thought as a small child crying out for care. Softening around these inner critics, she offered them the gentle phrases of loving kindness. May you be safe. May you be free from suffering. Slowly, the tonality of her inner dialogue transformed from scolding to supportive, and with it, a deeper kindness blossomed. On one pivotal evening, during a guided practice of compassion for all beings, Maya was invited to include herself in the circle of care. At first she hesitated. How could she, who had caused herself so much pain, deserve this love? But as the chant unfolded, she felt a warm current well up in her chest, dissolving the last barrier between self and other. In that openness she discovered that inner peace and compassion are inseparable. A heart that welcomes its own fragility is a heart capable of embracing the world. Returning to daily life after retreat, Maya carried these seeds of practice into every interaction. At work, when a colleague snapped at her in frustration, she noticed the familiar prick of indignation arise, yet she chose a different response. Rather than react defensively, she paused, placing a hand over her heart, and silently offered understanding. Everyone wants to be seen and valued. In that pause the tension melted, and she responded with calm encouragement instead of retaliation. Her colleague's eyes softened, and the atmosphere shifted. In her personal relationships too, Maya's newfound presence altered old dynamics. Family gatherings that once bristled with unspoken resentment now became opportunities for genuine listening. When a loved one voiced disappointment, she no longer recoiled in guilt or defensiveness. Instead, she allowed herself to feel the vulnerability beneath their words, honoring their pain with her attentive silence. Through this shared openness, bonds deepened and conflicts dissolved. Throughout every step, Maya remembered that true inner peace is not a static state but a living quality, an ongoing orientation toward awareness, compassion, and wisdom. Even as new challenges arose, illness, financial uncertainty, the unpredictable ebbs and flows of modern life, she discovered that the core of calm remained accessible. It had become her baseline, the silent partner in every moment. As we reflect on Maya's journey, we see that cultivating lasting tranquility requires patience, curiosity, and kindness toward ourselves and others. Whether through stillness on the cushion or mindful presence in the midst of daily tasks, each moment offers an invitation to come home to our own true nature. Thank you for watching this video. If you found resonance in Maya's story, feel free to share your own experiences of finding calm in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a thumbs up to support our channel. We look forward to exploring more paths to mindful serenity with you in our next session. Until then, may your heart remain open and your presence unwavering.